All right, we live. Can we get this going? Can we get this going properly? I messed it up last time. Can we get this active properly? Go live. Okay. IG's live, Twitch is live, YouTube is live. Chill stream today, man. What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy G and Alec. Another episode of 6300. Continue to show love to us wherever you guys tune in to us. Follow us on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. Section 300 is the place to be on all platforms, as well as Alex Sports Report on YouTube. Make sure you show them love as well. We're partnering with them. As you guys have seen, we flood their page with a lot of good conversation for you guys there as well. So chill Friday night for you guys. We're here on the weekend. Block our weekends ahead of us in the NFL. Lakers stuff is going on, and we're gonna start with the Lakers. You have the standings already kind of pulled up, and we have the top 8 pulled up here. You can kind of see, and as you kind of
Lakers not pictured,
we're not pictured. You got to scroll just a little bit to get us. We're currently sitting at 19 and 20. We just lost our last game and finding our way back up the standings. And as we get closer to the trade deadline, there's been a lot of talk. Things are riled up, especially in the last couple of days, even since our last talk that we posted about some moves being made and about some guys that are on the market that could be in purple and gold sooner than later. People are talking about Zach LaVine, talking about DeJounte Murray, that's all Siakam in the mix, and all those guys potentially could be serviceable, but it will come at a cost. Of course, we can't just get guys for free as much as Lakers fans think we can. We got to send somebody back to do so. So the first question is just in regards to our squad. D'Lo is the top name in the mix right now for a lot of folks. Should D'Lo be someone that gets traded before the trade deadline, or should Reaves or any other guys that have been in discussion? So the Lakers actually make a move before the trade deadline comes in a few weeks.
Yeah, it feels like a move kind of has to be made in terms of, I guess, just getting a bit of a spark back to this team. We talked about how it feels like they kind of want to turn it on and off, and maybe that's a who was that?
There's people in the chat. I'm saying
whatever. I was like,
everybody. Okay. I'm just
okay.
I see everybody joining as they popping in. But go ahead.
For sure, no, we're good. I was gonna say maybe that's just a result of it being like a LeBron James team in his later years of his career, where he kind of wants to coast a bit and turn it on in the playoffs. But I don't know that you can afford to do that in a loaded Western Conference. So it feels like this team needs something to kind of re-energize them and get them playing focused basketball and upping the level of intensity. And we're not getting that from this current iteration of the Lakers right now. So, yeah, it feels like a trade has to be made. It feels like D'Lo has to be a major factor in that, between it being contractually with him being one of the higher paid guys on the roster, as well as just his role on the team has kind of been in flux in recent games because of a little bit of his inconsistency of late and his kind of lack of defensive acumen, I guess you could say.
Sure.
So it feels like he's a guy. I mean, he was been talked about since before the season started, like December 15th, like count your days, D'Lo kind of thing. but I mean, he's made it this far, but it seems like he had that quote about finding the light at the end of the tunnel.
I was gonna say, you don't see the same light.
I see the light, but I think you might be the reason that there's light at the end of the tunnel, my friend. I don't know if you're going to be on the roster when there's light at the end of that tunnel. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the sentiment from D'Lo, but we might need you as a chess piece for that light to be there for the Lakers.
Yeah, that definitely hurts. As someone who's been a fan, as I've said for some time now, just wanting to see him do well. Things have not quite clicked that we would have liked for him here. We mentioned before in other conversations, more in depth, talking about how he himself talked about wanting to have a bigger role and not being able to execute on that. You have to execute in the roles that you get, especially in this offense, especially when you have LeBron and AD as centerpieces, and not being able to manage the catch and shoot roles or whatever role he kind of is right now, makes it hard to then say we should expand it to something else. It leaves him in a bind. So we'll figure out what is next for him. If he has to go, then so be it. And interested to see what the return may be. As we mentioned, there are talks about where you go. There's talks of Levine. There's talks of DeJounte Murray, talks of Pascal Siakam and others. Do any of those guys appeal to you at all as a worthy replacement for what we have right now?
Yeah, we've talked about a few of those guys already. I think DeJounte, to me, is the most appealing just because of what he also brings on the defensive side at that point of attack on the perimeter, his length and his size and his athletic ability, and then also his ability to create his own shot and create for others. I think that makes him a really appealing guy to have next to LeBron. Because I was going to mention, like you talked about D'Lo and his frustration not being able to like have more opportunities in the pick and roll and that kind of thing, where he really feels in his flow. Same thing with Russ. Like Russ had opportunities, but that's like where he best benefits is him being the primary decision maker. But when you're on a LeBron-led team, like you have to be able to play off the ball and play as a spot-up shooter at times, because that's kind of where LeBron thrives the most. So I think DeJounte can do both and can be a nice third option. I think him as a second option in Atlanta is not best suited to his talent. So slotting him in at that as that third or fourth on some nights, if Reaves is that third guy, I think that would be a really nice piece to have next to LeBron and AD in them. Yeah, so he's the one that stands out the most to me.
I co-sign that as well. I think he fits more to that third option that we would like, as well as as you point out, the defensive talent that he has there that could go right alongside LeBron and AD. Or moments where we know LeBron, especially at this age, can kind of lack on defense or take off the gas. Having a guy like him that can elevate and still keep guys shut down would definitely be appreciated. So we'll see how that plays out. None of the other guys you would want to see them make a move for. If we all of a sudden pull a Levine trade, you wouldn't be satisfied, or is it just Murray compared to the rest?
Yeah, I don't love like having to turn Levine into a spot up shooter because I feel like he would kind of be more of that and with LeBron and AD there, and like the defensive side that's kind of a weakness for him. Like I think the effort is there, but not one of his better abilities in terms of his defense or his team defense, especially like help side defense and that kind of thing. So I mean, he's an extremely talented offensive player, but I think some of his talent gets nerfed next to LeBron on the offensive end, and then on the defensive end, I don't think he's a plus player for us either. So he'd be lower on my wish list in terms of guys, but like I think they could make it work. You know, like he is a talented player, but I think in terms of fit, like a couple of the other guys, like even Siakam might be a little bit better of a fit than Levine. Yeah.
Where is our last year when we got the D'Lo Vando trade and all of that? Is there? Do you see any other trade out there that could be of that type of level where we're not going to get some big name, but all of a sudden we get some guys who end up being role pieces for us that could be big contributions? Do you see anyone anywhere out there? I know I'm completely on the spot, but that could be of that level.
It's a good question. I mean, like we kind of talked about briefly, sticking with that Bulls team and Caruso, like if they were able to pick up Caruso, and I don't know if there's another guy that like we could identify on that Bulls squad.
Not the Bulls, but Noel's in the chat. He said that hoping Lakers land Dorian Finney-Smith. Brooklyn wants a lot to be a huge on from deep. So the Nets again, we have some options. Send D'Lo back to Brooklyn. I'm sure he's fine with that. And get some pieces back from them. I don't think Cam Thomas on the table, but just thinking out loud, who's on the Nets, some pieces like that, Dorian Finney-Smith and somebody else, if somehow surely would be a nice mix there. So definitely would take that if that's on the table there. So that's a good option.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else would be available on that Nets team, because obviously, like they probably wouldn't want to get rid of McHale or, like you said, Cam Thomas.
McHale, Cam Thomas, and
Claxton.
And Claxton are the untouchables. Everybody else is on the table.
Lonnie Walker, we already had on the Lakers. I mean, he was a decent fit too, but yeah, I mean, like
our highly debated at one point, Spencer Dinwiddie's over there. We could take Spencer.
no Din shitty for me on the Lakers.
Second option. Noel said Bruce O'Neal maybe. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much. he is compared to. I think he's on the same level as a Torian, a Cam Reddish, where
to your question,
else, and then you get him, it's like, all right, well, now what? So we'll see.
To your question about like a similar type of trade as Vanderbilt and who was that? Malik Beasley. Like that, those are similar caliber guys, like Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith, that kind of thing. Right. So I see the vision with what Noel's talking about there. But yeah, I mean, something like that seems more conducive to what the Lakers have already in LeBron and AD, and how we've seen them be successful, especially in the playoffs. So as we talked about previously, I think it makes more sense to go after more 3-and-D type guys to have shooters around LeBron. But I mean, if they do go for more of the third star kind of guy, I like DeJounte first, probably then Siakam, then Levine in terms of those three.
Got it. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Things kind of ramped up in the last couple of days. Like I said, Will was tweeting about people that have maybe on the table. Talks about potentially throwing Reaves in the mix. Would you be okay with Reaves being traded if need be for one of these top guys?
Yeah, Reaves is a really good player. I don't think he's an untouchable guy. Like I feel like I always say, like in terms of Rob Pelinka, like you need to do your due diligence, like as the GM, as a decision maker there. So if there's a move that you think is quote unquote checkmate and it includes having Reaves in the deal, I don't think he's a guy where like you won't be able to recover kind of thing. Like if you do move off of him. Yeah. But I think we highly respect like what he brings to this Lakers team. We see that he can be a third option next to LeBron and AD. So knowing that we have that guy that has the chemistry with them, that has gone with them to the Western Conference Finals, has been able to step up and be leading scorer in playoff games and that kind of thing, it is probably harder to give him up, especially on the kind of team-friendly deal that he's on too. Right. But if they have that move that they think is a championship move, I wouldn't be too mad at it if he was included in a deal.
Yeah, I had the same thought just because of the reality of where we are right now, being at the 10th spot and not looking like a team that's climbing as it should be at the moment. To find some new energy in the building to get us back up into contention as we should be. I think if Reaves has to go in the midst of that, then so be it. If the right guys are going to come back and elevate us, as we've seen happen before with our Lakers squad. So yeah, we need to see what Rob cooks up for us. Very excited to see what is next for this squad. It's going to be gearing up a whole lot more with these talks for next month as the trade deadline approaches, and we'll see if the right moves are made. So we'll have full eyes on that as things go along. Again, this is chill pod today, so we're kind of taking a step back, looking else beyond there. A lot of talk going on with the Warriors too, another squad that's supposed to be higher up in the standings, but haven't found their way. Seeing what's been going on with them, do you have any thoughts about their, I don't want to say demise, but them falling apart as they've been doing so far?
I think they squeaked out a win tonight over the Bulls, so that's a positive for them. I believe Draymond is back on the horizon. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see if his soul searching has done anything for him in these last few weeks. I feel like that's kind of like the last hurrah, like their last breath kind of is like Draymond coming back and Chris Paul once he gets healthy, like them trying to run it back with the old guys, because we've heard Steve Kerr talk about how the locker room has kind of lost some of, I forget the exact word, but like lost some of its moxie or like lost some of its leadership without Draymond and Mr. Leadership himself, Chris Paul. There we go again. So yeah, I mean, I feel like they're kind of banking a little bit on the vets coming back and being able to turn things around, but I don't know that that's a winning formula for them. Like I feel like when they were leaning into the young guys being like the torch carriers along with the older guys, vets being in the room. Yeah. But I feel like the younger guys haven't fully materialized into what they wanted them to at this point. Like Kuminga, there's been questions about Steve Kerr and his handling of Kuminga's minutes at times.
He himself feels like he's being handled wrong. Like he feels like he can be taking the next step. I mean, it is year 3 for him, I believe. So he should be elevated into that borderline all-star guy if he was supposed to be that. They haven't really had the chance to show it in his eyes. So, yeah, things have not quite clicked for them. And it's been what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it feels like this is kind of the last dance, I guess you could say, for this iteration of the Warriors dynasty, which it feels like Draymond kind of had a hand in messing up a couple dynasties for them now.
Much. Still could have had KD, still could have had J. Poole. Yeah, he just kept doing his thing and
right.
Whatever. Oh well.
It's like once they get a taste of one championship, Draymond just kind of loses it.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably gonna be a bit of a retooling because I don't think it's a full rebuild when you have like Steph there too.
Right.
But yeah, they're probably gonna be on a bit of a retool coming into this next year. But as long as Chris Paul's there, they're not winning anything. You know how that goes.
I was sure you would bring that up with some kind of way. I guess interesting thought was, do you feel like Steph needs to speak up more? I'm obviously we're not in the building, we don't know what is going on, but like we knew for a fact when LeBron was fed up, like he was going and telling folks like, "Go get me some new guys," and we saw the turnaround happen because of it. We haven't quite heard the same thing regarding Steph and what's going on in that building. You feel like he should speak up more and demand some change, knowing he's still on the, and he's still on kind of the back of his prime still, and may have another run in him still.
Yeah, I feel like all of the Warriors have kind of like stood pat and just like stuck to their guns. Like Klay Thompson, like every time was like, I still believe in this team. Like every interview and whatever, it's like you're still losing games though. Like you're not really improving at this point. I think Steph should be probably a little bit more vocal. It feels like that's not really like his character in terms of like voicing a little bit of frustration in the media, like kind of getting the wheels spinning in terms of narratives and his wishes, like for the team, like LeBron will do.
Mouthpieces and stuff, and he'll yell and stuff like that. And we've seen him at times.
Yeah.
He'll answer questions. Like they asked him about community the other day, and he answered the question about that. So again, it doesn't necessarily be publicly, but just make it seem like there's some kind of demand for improvement. It seems like he's just like, I'm trying just to ride out with my team. Instead of saying, I don't have to deal with this, I can say, go give me some guys and figure it out that way instead. So, we'll see what goes on with it. But yeah, it just seems like he's not pushing as much as he potentially could.
Yeah, I get you. It'll be interesting to see if they make a deal at the trade deadline too, because they probably could use a bit of the spark like the Lakers could.
Right.
I think I sent you and Matt that Bill Simmons like 3-team trade that he was cooking up.
Yeah.
Where he had like Siakam and Vucevic like routed to the Warriors, which I mean sounds great to me on paper for them. Maybe they'll be in the Siakam sweepstakes, who knows? But
with stuff like that, it's like it always sounds great for the team you have in mind, but it's like why would the other two teams do that? Like the Bulls are finding their way. They took out Levine back, and Kobe White and guys are stepping up their play, and all of a sudden, and then for Siakam, it's like I don't think the return for Siakam does a lot for the Raptors getting like Kuminga and things like that. So it just puts other teams in a bad spot. So it sounds good to hear a fan, but everybody else is like, wait, I'm not doing this.
It depends how much the other team values like the younger prospect too. Like talked about, if you believe Kuminga can develop into an all-star level player, then maybe you will take a swing. And like you believe like your development team can do something more with that kind of prospect, then maybe you do take a swing. I don't know. I know Masai's had the hashtag vision at times for the Raptors. So I don't know. I would trust him if I'm a Toronto fan to cook up something with whatever they do with Siakam, because it feels like Siakam is gonna be gone.
Yeah, he's definitely out of there. He said he didn't want to go to the Kings though.
Right. You know. I mean, we know how that goes.
Yeah, whatever, man. But he said he's out there, but is they are trying to get a deal done. He's just talking about where he wants to sign with. He said I guess he would go to the Kings, but he for sure wouldn't sign an extension there, which is wild to say before you even get in the building. But yeah, he wants to go somewhere where he can already make sure he's locked in long term. So we'll see what they could do. I'm sure he would go to the Warriors, be happy about that, being alongside Steph. And we'll see what else comes of it. So definitely keep eyes on that. Anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah. Just touch on the Clippers real quick. I believe they won again tonight against the Grizzlies, which is expected. But I believe I saw a report that the 2026 All-Star is going to be at the Intuit Dome.
Yeah,
the Clippers are hosting that, so that's big news for Ballmer and the Clippers and that organization being the host. LA, of course, has been the host city several times for All-Star, but obviously it's been at Staples or now Crypto. So that's huge for new arena to get some fanfare there in 2026 for sure.
We'll have a more in-depth talk about that next week for sure. We just saw the announcement, and we'll follow it up, especially as the Clippers continue to roll. But yeah, definitely saw that, and happy for them, happy for the city, of course. With that arena being built up, definitely is going to be a great time, and looking forward to all that's on the way with it. But yeah, I definitely saw that headline too, and yeah, we'll return to it more in depth as things go along. But yeah, it should be a good time. You think we're going to still have the big four intact by that time we get there? You think Harden and all those guys are going to be in the building for that All-Star game, or are they going to be spread out by then? I don't know what the game that they have at this point. I've been calling them Fantastic Four, Big Four. I don't know what to call them, but
Fantastic Four.
You know what I'm talking about when I say that. So
yeah. I was just laughing because I was like, I don't know if you can call it a Big Four in terms of like Russ's role is really diminished. Like at this point, like he's playing 15 to 20 minutes a game kind of thing. But like I said last step, he's kind of like a breaking case of emergency type player now, where they have their rotation rolling with the three and some of these other role players. So I think that it can remain intact. It's going to depend on money for the last two guys in terms of Harden and Russ. Like if Russ wants to get a little bit more money, because he obviously could make more than $4 million. Like he took a major pay cut to stay on the Clippers. So if he wants to make more money somewhere else, go back to OKC to finish out his career, that kind of thing. Or as you mentioned with Harden, if he still wants to go after more of a max deal as opposed to taking a bit of a pay cut like Kawhi did.
Right.
But I could see them remaining intact just because they are LA guys, and I think the chemistry is really flowing. I think especially if they make a deep run, like if they make a finals run, I could see them wanting to run it back. But yeah, we shall see.
Yeah, again, like we said before, in our official talk, I think it all depends on their success in these playoffs. If they have a nice run to a final potentially, I think that keeps them around for some time. If they fall short and it's another disaster class from Harden in the playoffs or from PG in the playoffs, it could lead to them looking elsewhere to for their next step. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But they're on good track right now. You see them at the 4th spot, winning games and all of that, and finally healthy and all of that across the board. They can stay that way for the long run. It definitely could lead to some grand success. So we'll have eyes on that for sure as things go along, and excited for it. There's some other topics I wanted to get to on the fun side, on the serious side, man, and we'll come back to them later on. But while we're on the topic of NBA, we're chill stream today. We can go ahead and jump into actually one of these polls right now, actually, and then we'll circle back. You want to do the what was that one you sent me? The I Call It game.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I guess how this works is it shows. Let me pull it up again. It shows you a picture, and you get to guess the game that it's from.
Oh, what's this one? Because when I pulled it up, it was like a Lakers picture.
Well, it's not that, so they're good. We got to figure it out. So for one, the teams are clearly the Pacers and the
Cavs
and the Cavs.
Yeah, so home
teams Cavs. Let me not mess this up.
Top right. Oh,
I just want to get these ads out the way. God dang.
You ain't got your ad blocker on?
I guess not. Okay, Cavs. And then where we go? Pacers.
Yeah.
Submit. Bang. Next round.
They should put a Mike Breen like voiceover on it when it hits back.
Right. The year that clearly was LeBron shooting over is that Thaddeus Young?
Is that game winner?
I think so. Series tied 2-2.
I feel like that's 2018.
That sounds about right. 2018, I think. I'll go ahead and guess that as well. It has to be there. Yeah, what was the last year Bron was there? Or the last couple of years, it was like 2016 to 2018.
2018 was his last year in Cleveland, yeah.
So I think this was it, correct? Because they lost. Yeah. Submit. Bang. Perfect. Round 3. What series was this?
This was
the second. I think it was the second round, right?
Yeah, it's either first or second because like they played Boston. I know before they played. Like Boston was Eastern Conference Finals, I believe.
Correct. So it's not conference finals. So it's got to be.
It's either round 1 or 2. Who else might they have
played? Who else was in that run? So I remember the Celtics series for sure. Yeah. It was a Celtics.
Did he beat the Raptors again?
Oh,
so I think this was round 1. I think this was round 1 against the Pacers.
Bang! All right.
Yeah.
Next up, man. The coaches. Can I see the coaches? Was Ty Lue there for that last run?
Should be. Let's see. Because was Doc still coaching the Clips 2018?
He wasn't Clipper coach in 2018 because
right. So it should be Ty Lue.
Because wasn't he one of our assistants for a second? We were supposed to promote him and he ended up leaving. Wasn't that still assistant days, Ty Lue? Remember that? We had him for a moment.
Who's we?
The Lakers. Wasn't he assistant for a moment before he got bumped up?
Not in recent years though. That was a while back with the Lakers.
Whatever. Okay, but for the Pacers,
let's see. Was that still Vogel?
I was gonna say, would that be Vogel? I think it would be Vogel, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, not Vogel. Okay.
Over there. It wasn't
2018.
It wasn't McMillan. That was after Vogel for sure.
He was with the Hawks for a couple seasons.
Yeah, but I don't know who else was a Pacers coach. Ew. That far back, I could not think of head coaches like that.
Would it be McMillan? I feel like that was the last place before Atlanta that he was.
Is this the Pacers sideline? I'm trying to see if I can see any silhouette.
I do that too, because you can look at the previous pictures and I think the next pictures too. But if you hit the arrow, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so black dude. Who's this?
It's got to be a McMillan.
Okay. Bang. All right, there we go. And then name players who played in this game.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so the obvious names are like the Oladipos and the Miles Turners.
Right.
Was UCLA's finest TJ Leaf? Was he in that game?
I don't know if he played, but you can guess as many. Like they don't give you wrong like points off for getting wrong guesses. I don't think.
TJ Leaf.
That's the first name you go to. I mean, you can do it.
I was trying to get like a random name instead of going for because it has the rare use scores, right?
It does, but like as long as you get 12 plus, then you get a bang. Oh, they put it down to 10 plus. It was 12 plus players, but.
Oh, okay.
So the rarity doesn't matter as much. I think if you get the most guys, that helps. So you said Oladipo.
Multiple players. I thought you just named one.
It's multiple? No, multiple.
Oh, then Oladipo. Miles Turner. Who else was on that?
Is McConnell on that team?
McConnell. Nope.
No.
Who was the Arizona? Wasn't there an Arizona guy on that squad before McConnell? Who's the other guy? Oh my God. I don't know.
Before McConnell?
Never mind. I was going to salute to Gabe York. He wasn't over there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was on there.
I don't know if he was. Who was on that squad then?
I mean, we could do Cavs.
That wasn't the last Paul George year, right? He was already gone, right?
He's gone. Yeah.
Was Sabonis on this squad?
He's in OKC.
Sabonis was on that squad.
Yeah.
Who was the point guard over there? Oh my gosh.
28. George Hill? He might have been on the Cavs at that point, though.
He might have. Yeah. All right.
You could try George Hill for the Cavs.
George. Nope.
Didn't play. Because it's guys that played in the game, too. So even if they're on the roster, they might not have played.
Got it.
But you could throw LeBron on there.
Oh, well, this helps. Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance.
Oh, yeah, that was post-trade deadline.
Yeah, that was the infamous deadline.
Kevin Love.
Isaiah Thomas was on that squad for a second, right?
I don't think he was there after the deadline.
Oh.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love. Who else is there? Was
you still didn't put LeBron.
LeBron. Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood, yeah. I think he was. I don't know if he played, but yeah, there we go.
For sure. Who's this guy right here?
Oh. Is Jeff Green on this team?
Jeff Green played for every team
That's
in
what
the
I'm
league.
saying. That's what I'm saying. You might as well try it.
Was Dellavedova on this team still?
No.
Who's this right here?
I don't know. Looks kind of like Love, but the name looks long. So you could try Dellavedova if you want. I don't remember.
He's too Dellavedova. I said Thaddeus Young, right? Thaddeus. That's a strong name.
It is. Is he there?
Yeah, got it. Turner, Sabonis, Thaddeus.
Corver on this team?
Was that the last Kyle Korver year? It might have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, who's this guy in yellow right here? Oh,
Darren Collison.
Yeah.
There you go. The Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord.
in Lakers rumors every year, are they going to bring him back out of retirement?
Where you go? Big's in the chat. He said Nate. We got that. Oh, so we didn't see the chat. We missed him. My bad. Y'all gotta join the Twitch stream.
One? The Twitch stream, yeah.
Yeah.
What were they saying? What were they saying?
Vic was in here. At first he was like, "What's wrong with us? Fix the Lakers. Fire up the trade machine." He's just Nate. He said, "Boys ignore me in the chat." And then he said, "CJ Watson somewhere on here."
CJ Watson.
I don't know. Maybe for the CJ Watson.
Is Vic no ball?
That's 2016. He wouldn't even be. That's not impossible. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Sorry, Vic. Yeah, y'all gotta join the Twitch stream, please.
Oh, yeah, Nacho said this too.
On the other side.
Trying to figure out the 2018 Pacers coach.
Collison. Who's 6?
Did you guess Leaf yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's 6 on the Pacers? I don't know.
Was Lance over here? Lance might be on the Cavs, right? Oh no, he was over here. Okay, Lance is on there. Because you gotta get 9 to get it right, correct?
We have enough now. I was trying to get as much as possible, but you just need 10 total from both. So we have enough.
All right. So bang. All right. Next round.
Go back. You can see all the players if you go back.
Oh, well, there's all this here. So I'll assume J.R. Smith. Oh, yeah.
Last shot.
Right. Who scored the last?
Last shot was Braun. He had the game winner.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't think you put Jeff Green on there. I said Jeff Green.
Oh, well.
Old man Jeff Green.
Yeah. He played everywhere. We got that 69. Your score is 73%. All right, that's cool. Whatever. We'll take that. Going on from there. You want to do? There's an immaculate grid. There's an immaculate grid, and these are the options for this one.
Okay.
There's a crossover grid with these options.
I'm trying to do
Fuck out of here. Let me go back to hoop grids. This one, the irregular hoop grids. There's this as well. There's those 3 options. So however you want to do it.
750 steals is an interesting one.
So you want to stick with this one? We'll do 2. We'll do this in immaculate. I want to do the immaculate one also. So we'll go ahead and stay here for a second.
All right. Let's do it. You want to throw a timer on it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw what was the number last time? 7 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
We gotta get the Twitch active and get some moderators so we can throw 7 minutes on the clock on the screen or like that for us some way. How do I forget? Oh, come on.
Y'all can throw suggestions in the comments. See who knows ball. Clearly, Vic doesn't know ball, but
join the Twitch stream, please, and the comments. Their comments pop up on screen for us when we do it that way. But 7 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 10,000 points for the Celtics. As the obvious ones, the Birds, the Pierces.
Right.
Who's a random name? Try to get a value score for this one. Who's a deeper bag we can get into for the Celtics?
Antoine Walker. He might be kind of high too, but
might be high. Derek White don't got 10,000 points for the.
Yeah, you are such a hater, man. You are such a hater.
That's great grab. All right. 10,000 points for the
All-Star Derek White. They got 10,000 already, man. Damn.
I thought you did at this point. Killing it so far. 10,000 points for the Blazers. I don't know if Brandon Roy was he there long enough to do that. That seems like a lot.
I don't know if he got 10,000 just because of the injuries. LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus, Bill Walton. Did Bill get 10,000?
Probably. Yeah.
Which one do I go with?
You can do Bill. I don't know who would be less on here. I know there's old heads on here. Oh, he didn't have it. Okay.
Wow, this is Hoop Bridge though, so we get guesses. So Marcus, 7%. That's
not bad. Are we getting old a little bit? People not remembering these like 2000 guys?
Yes.
Let's see, 750 plus steals
and 10,000 points. Did Rondo get? I'm sure Rondo's got both of those, right? Because
that's a good one.
Rondo, no,
he didn't get. He must not have got the steals. I feel like he got the points.
I thought the steals would be for sure. I was thinking the points that'd be the issue. 750 steals.
Gary Payton,
yes. Anyone else that comes to mind, like a Steve Nash or
No, my thought was what's his name? The Utah Jazz point guard. Did he have like a lot of steals? Yeah, Stockton or like a
Darren Williams before
like a Scott Skiles or something like that.
Scott Skiles, Jesus Christ!
I don't know if he had 10,000 points though. That's the thing. That's a lot of points.
10,000. All right. Vic is back. He said Stockton. Vic, join the Twitch stream.
Okay, I said Stockton too.
Story. Join the Twitch stream. We see your chat on the stream.
Throw Stockton because I said Stockton too.
All right, he said Stockton. You say Stockton. Let's go ahead and throw John up there. Johnny.
He's got some questionable views, but
5%. Great grab. Salute. Pat Lever. He said Pat Lever for who? For what?
Probably for that one we were just talking about.
Oh, same one. We'll take the 5% for this. That's fine.
Yeah. We're doing well right now. All these under 10. So
yeah, Thunder 750 steals. I'm sure Russ has somewhere around that, correct? Was there another name?
He's probably a highly guessed. Who else is been on the
only defense? This is a real. Did Roberson ever get that much?
Yeah, I don't think he got.
No,
that's a lot of steals. I don't think he played that long to get that many steals.
Chris Paul might be a sneaky one on here because he was there for.
Chris Paul is a good guess. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. 5% on that.
There we go.
Let's see. That Vic said that one. Okay, so yeah, we were right with what you said. I think he's switching over though. So let's see if he's in there. He'll drop some suggestions. Going on from there, Bucks 750 steals. Who was the main guy for the Bucks? What's his name? Sidney Moncrief from a billion years ago.
Yeah, that could be a good one. I don't know. Was he a big defensive guy? I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'm trying it. Oh, there you go. 5%.
There you go.
Great grab.
Gino ball.
Okay, now we need players. So Thunder and was Cephalosha. Did he play for both of those?
He might have. You could try him. For some reason, did Jeremy Grant play on the Thunder?
He did.
You could try Cephalosha. You could try Cephalosha first, though.
Didn't? Okay. So Jeremy did though, but that might be a big name. Anybody else come to mind real quick?
I don't know. I'm not even 100% that he played for the Thunder. It just feels like he did, but
I could have swore he did. I think he started there.
Who else?
Yeah, he was
Was
there.
he 11? That's not bad.
11%. We'll take it. That's fine. Bucks and Blazers, obviously Dame.
Obviously, that's gonna be a high one.
Yeah.
Wesley Matthews for sure.
Matt said Keon Dooling for Bucks Celtics.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
0.35.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Great grab. Great grab.
I haven't heard that man's name in decades.
All right, going on from there. Thunder and Celtics.
You're a Boston sicko, Matt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, I don't know if you heard it, but did Derek White play for the Thunder at all? No.
We tried to put Derek White in there for 10,000 plus points, Matt, but he ain't got there yet.
Not almost there for 10,000 for the Celtics, but a couple more games, he'll get there. Thunder, Celtics.
Oh, I said Wesley Matthews for Bucks Blazers.
Wesley Matthews, he's already topping up top. He might be high.
He might be
7%. Okay,
not bad. Not bad.
We stay under 55%.
Under 50. Let's go under 50.
If you can know a name that can get us there.
Oh, Matt's gonna get us there easy. OKC and the Celtics.
You see his chat on the side. He said he did not talking about Derek White. Okay, so we need one more under 10%. Taking all suggestions. Thunder, Celtics. Who would that be? Would Perk be that? That might be
I was gonna say Kendrick Perkins, obviously, yeah.
Jeff Green. I was just about to say Jeff Green's an easy one.
Jeff Green, for sure.
Yeah, a better one than that. Perk is there, correct? Gosh.
I don't think he played for the Celtics though. I was gonna say like Kyle Singler.
That's 7 minutes or whatever. We'll keep it going because people are commenting. And we'll do one more also after this too. But who was the other big during that Celtics era with Perk that was alongside him? Not Big Baby Davis. There was another guy there. It was like Leon
Sebastian Telfair. Did he play for the Thunder?
He might have. But I think Matt, I know who we're talking about. You know that guy Leon Poe, wherever his name is. Was he on the Thunder at some point?
I feel like the Thunder weren't the Thunder when Leon Poe was in the league.
Maybe not. Then all right. There. And that does it.
Who was it?
Sebastian Telfair.
Sebastian Telfair.
0.84.
What a pull. When did he play for the Thunder? I did not remember that.
Great grab.
That was a good one. That
was a great one. Appreciate y'all for that. We'll go ahead and do one more, and then we'll go on to a couple more other topics, then we'll get out of here. So we have the Immaculate Grid, which has these options born outside the U.S., as well as those on the side. And then there's also the crossover grid with 1 or 3-time All-Star, 40 points in a playoff game, Kings, and that. Which one you prefer?
Let's do the Spurs one.
The Spurs one, the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This one has guesses, so we gotta get the guesses right this time. We can't just
challenging.
We'll do 7 minutes again on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pistons and
Spurs got a laundry list of players born outside of the U.S.
Yeah, just pick anybody. No knees, DeJuan Blair. He was from outside the country, right? Wasn't he from
maybe a guy I thought of was
he was from the Cavs too, wasn't he?
Yeah, that could work for Cavs Spurs, I think.
Correct.
DeJuan Blair.
I'll sacrifice one of my guesses on this one. How you spell his name?
EJU. Yeah.
DeJuan Blair. Boom. No.
Oh, he wasn't on the Cavs, I guess. He was on the Cavs. I was gonna say like Tiago Splitter on the Spurs. I feel like that won't be a highly guessed one.
Good grab, 5%.
Okay.
Raptors outside of the U.S. That's a lot. I mean, RJ Barrett might count for that. He's from Canada. I don't know if people would jump to that immediately right now.
They might just because he's there now.
Who else over there? Schroeder's over there right now.
Yeah, Siakam, Schroeder, Podol.
George's a good grab. Who'd you just say?
Podol. Jacob Podol. Jakob Podol.
Jakob.
It might be high too, but I don't know.
Him or Schroeder?
Do Podol.
3%.
3. Let's go.
Bulls outside of the U.S.
Andrea Bargnani.
Bargnani.
No. Matt was saying that I think for the Toronto one.
Oh.
Yeah. Bulls outside of the U.S.
Bargnani was on the Pistons too, wasn't he?
Not that I remember.
Oh, I ain't mixing up teams, but
I remember the Knicks, and where did he play also? You're trying to think of Bulls outside the U.S., right? Coach. That would probably be a high one.
Would it be? Like we just said, we're old, so maybe not.
You do it?
Oh,
I thought you were okay. Yeah,
34%.
I think there's some old heads on some of these.
Got it. Bruno Caboclo. He's on where he played for a few of these, didn't he? He was on the Raptors.
Who said Bruno?
Matt,
you're a sicko.
Where else would he with? He played for the Raptors. He played for. He's on the bench for the Cavs, maybe for a second. I could have swore.
I don't want to waste my guess on Bruno.
Yeah, we got 5 guesses left. So your call.
That's Bulls and Cavs. Bulls and Cavs.
Raptors and Bulls. Oh, okay. So that wouldn't work. Pistons and Spurs.
2 worst teams in the league
right now. Ben Walls didn't play his whole career in Detroit, right? Didn't he play somewhere else at some point?
I feel like I only remember Detroit. He might have played somewhere else though.
And then those old bigs, I see them on all these teams for some reason. I don't think it's right, but like there was like Tyson Chandler. Who else was another big on that squad? It was like not Tim Thomas. He did play on the Bulls though. Who was the other big that bounced around on that squad? I can't remember. He said he thinks Ben was a Cav too.
That doesn't help because it doesn't cross over with Cav and Pistons.
Oh, Pistons.
Yeah.
God, this is bad. I'm blanking bad right now.
Matt said Rodman is easy Spurs Pistons. Yeah.
Jamario Moon for Raptors and Cavs. We'll go ahead and just do that so we can get something on the board.
Okay. That's a great name, by the way.
Great name.
Jamario.
6%.
Jamario.
Did Danny Green play for?
Cavs and Spurs. Danny Green. Yeah.
And then there was also Gerald Green played for a couple of these teams, didn't he?
He played for
Gerald
the Cavs.
Green played for the Bulls. No.
Gerald Green. Bulls? Yeah. He might have played Cavs and Bulls. Gerald Green?
No. All right, 2 guesses left. 2 minutes left.
Throw
we
in
can go ahead the last 3 if we want to at the end, just to save ourselves.
You could throw the Rodman in the Spurs Pistons. Or Spurs. Yeah. Was that what he said? Spurs Pistons?
Yeah, that's a high one. One more guess for any of these.
Pistons and Raptors. Pistons
We
and Bulls.
mentioned Darren Collison before. There was Darren Collison on a couple of these squads. He played everywhere.
Darren Collins.
I think he was on Bulls. Was he on Pistons at any point?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Here's a random name.
What?
Was Ramon Sessions on the Bulls and the Cavs?
Ramon Sessions.
His name?
He was on the Cavs. I don't think he was on the Bulls though.
The name you brought up before, Jeff Green, was he on a couple of these squads?
He was definitely on the Cavs.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on the Bulls.
We got 45 seconds. So
12
guess
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Kirk Heinrich, Bulls, Cavs.
I thought of Kirk Heinrich, but did he play on the Cavs? I couldn't remember if he played on the Cavs.
We got 25 seconds, so it's gonna have to be our guess.
Go for it.
No, he did not.
Nope.
So all right, it is.
They got us.
Oh, I don't want to see all this. I just want to show. They don't show like.
If you scroll to the bottom, I think, right?
Oh, okay. D Wade, Tracy McGrady in Pistons. I didn't realize that. All right.
Oh, that was in the later days.
Yeah, I guess so. Wembanyama, of course. Yeah.
Rodman both of those.
Siakam. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are redeeming ourselves. Let's go ahead and just knock this last one out, and we'll come back to the other topics later.
You better get all the Kings ones.
Yeah. Kings, and didn't Jimmer play for both of them?
Who?
Jimmer
played for the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I remember in the NBA.
Oh, okay. Sixers 40-point game. Didn't somebody randomly show 40 points in a playoff game? Didn't Maxey maybe get one of them recently?
Oh, playoff game.
Yeah.
Not in the playoffs, Maxey.
Uh-oh.
He just got big ones in the regular season. 40-point playoff games. Harden has had one. He had a couple this last year. Embiid, I'm sure, has had one. AI, I'm sure, has had one. Yeah. I know has had some. Did Elton Brand ever get up there to 40?
He might have, but we only got this again. We got guesses this time, so
right. We got guesses too, so got to be judicious here.
With this one, since it's being guesses, we'll just try to get it right instead of worrying about the rarity score. We'll just try to make sure we click the boxes. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put Allen Iverson.
That's gonna be the highest, probably. Yeah.
Whatever. 20%, 21%. So 40 points for the Hawks. Trae Young. Anyone else?
Probably
Joe Johnson maybe got one in there.
Yeah, probably like Dominique too.
Dominique during those years where the Hawks were the ones every year. Who was the main scorer on that squad?
It was balanced. It was balanced. I don't think there was like a 40-point guy really.
I don't think Jeff T got up there. Sorry.
Jeff T salute.
Oh, go ahead. I think he's saying that about this right now. So we'll put Dominique. There you go. Yep. 40 points and only 1 to 3 All-Star appearances. Somebody recent. Who's somebody recent that's been? Has Shea been in the playoffs yet? Shea ain't been in the playoffs yet.
No, he's been in the play-in.
He
has been in the playoffs, but I don't know if they have 40 in the bubble with like him and CP3.
Oh, well, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell. Do they have more than 3 All-Star games though?
Jamal Murray probably doesn't have more than 3. Yeah, Jamal Murray would be a good guess. Does he even have 1? Jamal Murray?
Oh, I guess not.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I just thought about that. He doesn't have 1. Yeah. I just thought about that as you were typing.
Oh well. All right. So that's that one. Pacers, 1 of the All-Stars.
Luka's probably
in one last year, didn't he?
Luka's probably a good guess for that one we just did. Matt said that.
No.
He must have more than 3. He must have 4, I guess. Then.
Peyton Watson, I wish. Hey, man can dream.
Peyton Watson.
Kings, 1 of the All-Stars, De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis.
Yeah, we got to let you get some Kings. You got to flex some Kings knowledge on us.
De'Aaron Fox, Kings, and the Hawks. That would be. Oh my God. I keep saying Darren Collison for some reason. Not Darren Collison. He was on the Kings though. Marcus Thornton, I think, was on there.
No, he might have been. Was he on the Sixers? Thornton? Like King Sixers.
Yeah, he was on one of those for sure. Marcus Thornton. I think Jody Meeks was on.
Oh, there's someone else I'm thinking of.
Jody Meeks, I think, was on both of them squads. Correct.
Ben McLemore.
Ben McLemore was on there.
Like King Sixers.
Wow, he was not. Okay.
Damn, who was that? Who am I thinking of then?
Was it Jody? It wasn't Jody either. I could have swore Jody was on that one.
We gonna run out of guesses.
Yeah, whatever.
Who was the big that played for? I feel like he played for the Lakers and then the Kings and then the Sixers.
The Lakers, the Kings, then the Sixers.
It was like in the 2010s. He's like a 6'10" kind of like power forward type. Like he was like number 30.
Like Thomas Robinson.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I think he played for both those teams.
Oh, he's yelling Thomas Robinson.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
We keep standing over the screen, looking around.
That's exactly who I was thinking about.
Please, my bad.
I'm begging you, it's Thomas Robinson. Oh man.
All right, one more guess for any of those.
Kings and Hawks. Just ignoring that.
Just staring every other. Just would not look at the chat. Okay.
Hawks. This is the final guess. I'm putting it on you. You're the Kings guy, man.
There's more than the Kings, though. There's Pacers.
Nah. You gotta flex that Kings knowledge. Real Kings knower.
I'm trying it.
Who is it?
Darren Collison, wrong. Whatever.
Why are you putting Darren Collison for everything?
I couldn't think of any of the names. That name kept coming to my mouth for whatever reason, but whatever. So we whipped on that. We'll come back every Friday. We'll try to see if we can do that. There's a current player, I'm sure there was, Matt, but we'll come back on Fridays and have the chill pods on Fridays and try to redeem ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Red Velvet.
Of course.
Come on, G.
Yeah, that's an L on my part. It is what it is, but so be it. Definitely like good stuff there. We'll have more polls and all that kind of stuff. NBA watch for sure to come back to. I'm going kind of fast right now because I know, Matt, whatever, but I'm going kind of fast. I think after an hour it shuts down on IG Live. So
you're right.
On there, be sure to switch over to our Twitch. We'll continue to have conversations going on. Twitch or YouTube. YouTube is live as well, which is where some of these guys are on also. Twitch or YouTube, definitely chime in on those, and we'll keep this thing going. The last thing with that, I'll say, we had a serious topic I had, like I mentioned to you before the show. We'll save it later on. We don't got to get to it right now.
Okay.
Staying in the fun side of things. We already kind of did our brackets for the playoffs, but a last bracket before the wildcard weekend starts. Just again filling these out and seeing how we both agree on how things would go. I think our polls, our brackets kind of were the same. We did our predictions
very
before.
Similar, yeah. Just
for entertainment's sake, again, real quick, or we could even do a blading quiz. That might take a little bit longer, but
yeah, that would take a little longer. Probably
save that for another day. But for this one, for sure, wildcard weekend again. Last picks before the games get started. I think tomorrow. I think Saturday, right? Games get going.
Yep.
So we'll see how this plays out. Bills or Steelers again. Last preview. Any thoughts on how this game's gonna go? Any change of mind of how this may go? Any upset?
I think it's like closer than it should be, but I do think the Bills win this game though.
Yeah. I can see it being very close because the Bills don't separate from folks. But I don't feel like they're in the game.
Tomlin said they're rolling with the hot hand in Mason Rudolph. I don't know how that works against the Bills defense. So
Mason Rudolph, yeah. So if it was January 6th, he might still get it. But any other day, it's gonna be tough to get the job done. So going with the Bills in that one.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Dolphins. We now know it's gonna be a blizzard game. It's gonna be
below zero or whatever.
Below zero. It's gonna feel like 30 degrees below or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold as hell. That definitely hurts the Dolphins pass game. Wanted to feature Tyreek Hill and Waddle and guys like that. But also we know that the Chiefs pass the ball too, having Kelsey and Rashee Rice a little bit. Well, their passing hasn't been as strong. They have gotten Pacheco rolling. So what's backfield you think is going to end up running more in this game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a heavy run game, probably a low scoring game, just
Yeah.
because of the conditions, like you said. So probably A-Chain gets off a little bit, probably Pacheco.
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are rolling with the Chiefs despite their kind of faltering a little bit this season. But I think I'm still rolling with the Chiefs in that. Like I do trust Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid more than I do Tua and McDaniel. Like we've talked all season about Miami beat a good team challenge.
Right.
The Chiefs aren't even really great this year, but they are still a good team, a formidable opponent. So I think it goes the Chiefs' way here at home in those
Uh,
conditions.
I agree. Yeah, just the thing we've joked about them not being able to separate against good teams. Yeah, I don't think Tua's going to hold up on the cold. To be honest with you, while the Chiefs have some of the West Coast offense themselves, I think they'll be more prepared for it than this Miami squad. So
Right.
I agree about the Chiefs. So I picked them. Texans Browns. I've been going back and forth. Not going to
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
Once I had kind of
That's fair.
strongly picked the Browns at first.
Mhm.
I don't want to disrespect CJ Stroud. Honestly, he's been having a historic rookie season. I think it can continue. I think the Browns also, with as much as we praise Joe, I think you pointed out before that Joe does have flaws in his game. He hasn't been perfect. He's just been good enough on the squad. So there is room for the Texans to get the job done.
There is.
You want to pick them and flip sides on that, or are you still co-signing? I think we both picked the Browns in that. Are you flipping sides?
I think I'm still rolling with the Browns here. But
Mhm.
I do like Texans' chances just the way Stroud has been playing, and they are pretty banged up. He does still have Nico Collins though, so he does still have his number one target, and
Yeah.
Schultz should be healthy as well. But yeah, I think I like the Browns defense more. Like I tend to favor defense a little bit more, especially come playoff time. Uh, and while they have been a little bit banged up, I think I trust them a little bit more than I do the Texans defense. This is the one that gave up 265 yards to Amari Cooper. It might not be quite that bad, but I think the passing
Right.
game can get off against the Texans. So I'm going with the Browns
Yeah.
still.
I agree with that. I will say we pointed out in regards to our rankings, we had our official episode. If somehow the Texans win, that makes the path for the Ravens a lot easier. So I greatly appreciate that. Though
Yeah.
that would mean the Texans have stepped up and will be able to rough up themselves. But
Right.
just in comparison to the Ravens, I think it's a better matchup. It would be a tougher matchup for the Ravens versus the Browns and the Ravens versus the Texans, even at a later point in the season. So yeah, I'll pick the. I think you just said you picked the Browns.
I
I'll still
did.
pick them as well. But the Texans upsetting them, I'd be rooting for in a way still, and wouldn't mind happening. So going with that, and then from there, as we see Browns and Ravens, again there is room for a potential upset there because
There is.
of the Browns will be rolling at that point. But I don't think the Ravens are going to let themselves lose in the first round after the season that they've had. Seeing Lamar locked in as he is, Patrick Queen and Raquan Smith locked in as they are. We just got Mark Andrews back in the building. I don't think the Ravens are going to take this team lightly. They've now see the Browns coming as well. There's a lot of
Right.
people talking about the Browns might sneak up on them. There's been that talk for a little while now. I think the Ravens will fully be prepared for whatever they throw at them, and we'll get the job done. So going Ravens in that still.
Yeah, I think I'm still going with the Ravens here too. I do still see the potential for an upset, but I am confident in Lamar to be the dynamic player that he is,
Mhm.
and be able to overcome if it is a tight game, that he would be like kind of like the difference maker in that. And then as well, we talked about how much of a ball hawking defense this Ravens defense is, and we saw
Yeah.
that in prime time against the 49ers. I think because of how Flacco can take shots and be a little bit loose with the ball, I think they can take advantage of that as well on the defensive side. So definitely, I'm rolling with Baltimore as well in this matchup.
Strong agree. So going with that. I don't know if our IG's acting up. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live on IG. If somehow people
Okay.
are still tuned into that, y'all can join us on Twitch or on YouTube. Links are in the bio for that, and we will see you guys there. So I ended that one. Great. This is still active though, so
Yeah.
cool. We're going on with that now. Hopefully, people join over. We saw Phil was over there. We saw Vic was over there. We'll see you guys over here. Hopefully, going on from that one. I just connected. Yep, that's fine. Okay, now back to where we were. Bills and Chiefs. That's a toss up again. The Chiefs haven't been perfect. The Bills let teams stay around longer than usual. I think we both picked the Bills in that
Yeah.
still. For
Yeah.
last time, you still rolling with that?
Yeah. The Chiefs haven't shown us enough And maybe that can change our minds after round 1 against the Dolphins a little bit.
Yeah.
But they haven't shown us enough, I don't think, this season to make us believe that they are closer to the team that's been this dynasty. And I think their flaws just in the passing game have been a little bit too much to overcome in terms of being able to keep up with if the Bills are able to put up points. And then the Bills are going to have the home field advantage as well too in that matchup, which is a bonus for them. I think it's another close game as it always is between these two, but I think the Bills pull it out.
Sometimes I ask this and it ends up happening. I always do every once in a while. Is there a chance? And that chance ends up playing out. Is there a chance that the ball connects this time for the Chiefs and that Kelsey actually gets rolling and Rashee Rice is enough for the offense to do enough to get the win? Or you think, again, as you pointed out, that it's going to be more of the same from what we saw all season long?
It's certainly a chance. Like we talked about, the Chiefs haven't been great, but we could see them winning a couple playoff games. Just
right.
We know what they're capable of when they are playing their A game. I think it would behoove the Chiefs to lean into the run game and lean on the defense because the defense has been their best unit. So if they play a more conservative game and just try to take shots here and there, maybe.
You're gonna laugh at this. I'm laughing too, but I'm just gonna point it out. It's laugh, whatever. Sure. But I've been trying to find my way to Chiefs Twitter a little bit and Chiefs Facebook. Whatever. They're like, oh, McCole Hardman's getting back also, and we might be able to use him. Again, I'm laughing as well, but if they think there's some way he can get used more, we haven't seen him at all really since he's gotten back in that trade before the trade deadline.
Let's be serious.
Options, then that'd be great for him, but I don't see it happening. But again, to our point about if there's a chance, if there is any chance, you guys got to find someone else in that pass game beyond Rashee to step up. So we'll see what they do to make that happen. But for this, I'm still picking the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
So then we have a great matchup there, Ravens and Bills. As we saw, we've seen a few times in recent years that sometimes what we've seen in the regular season is how things end up kind of expanding. Like we talked about with our truths as well. Just things that are the truth for some teams will remain the truth for those teams all season long. The Ravens have shown that they can tough out their flaws and whatever, and still find ways to play well against teams, even dominate great teams, even through their misfortunes. While on the other end, the Bills, while they can play great at some time, they have turnover issues, and they often will make mistakes that end up being to their detriment. I think that's what this game is. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's a great matchup between two MVP caliber guys. We have Lamar and Josh going up against each other, but them. And obviously, it may be fixed at this point, but them maybe not featuring Stephon Diggs as much as we usually see before. Josh Allen having turnovers as he had at certain points. I think that ends up being the thing that has been their detriment throughout the season. I think bites them again at the end, as well as some injuries they've had. Von Miller has not quite been the same guy that they hoped him to be. I think they have other guys that have been out for some time on the defensive side as well. I think that catches up to them, sadly, at this moment. Beyond biases, just acknowledging what's going on in both squads. I think the Ravens still find a way to get it done.
Okay. I think it's the Ravens game to lose, in my opinion. I think they are the better team. I think they have the better quarterback, as great as Josh Allen is. But we've seen them in the playoffs struggle a little bit to get into the deeper rounds. And it's usually been on themselves in terms of, you talked about Josh Allen turning the ball over. They've had an issue turning the ball over in big games as well. So taking care of the football, I think, will be huge. Getting Mark Andrews
issues in past playoffs, but this season,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the playoffs. I'm not because we've seen them be good in the regular season and then get to the playoffs and
sure, but just acknowledging that this clearly is a elevated team from what we've seen in past years. No,
we shall see. Like, they got to prove it. Like we've seen it in the regular season. You still got to prove it in the playoffs.
I'm saying we haven't seen their offense be this good in the regular season leading into the playoffs. Like, we had a lot of questions in past years.
You don't think so? You don't think this offense has been this good? Like in the early couple starting seasons of Lamar Jackson, like his MVP year, and
we had a lot of questions even during the MVP year, just about the receiving core and them finding time before Mark Andrews was established about them finding options for Lamar.
I think Lamar is better. Like, I think he's continued to get better on that front. I don't in terms of the offense. I mean, Zay Flowers is like a more dynamic receiver than you've had. Like you had Marquise Brown in there, so like that's
Right.
similar archetype of player there in terms
I'm
of the
just saying also as
but
well. It's just in regards to, for example, there's a lot of questions about Greg Roman, the play calling. The play
that's what I'm
calling
saying. The play calling was good back then. Like that was when he had the MVP season. It just became stale after a couple of years, right? Like that's why you guys like wanted him gone because
there were questions the whole time. Obviously, the first year we didn't know what Lamar was going to fully be, so
right.
it worked out and we embraced it and great. And then when we were trying to start building on from there, it wasn't being built up properly. As you said, it got stale. So to compare it to this year to the first year, when the first year we didn't even know what we were going to get from anybody, I think it's unfair. You have to add the context of what all was going on around it. I think we definitely have built a team on both sides of the ball that is better heading into these playoffs. And there's a lot less questions this time around than there were. The only real question is, are they going to deliver? Like there aren't questions about
that's really my point. Like I think it's their game to lose. I think they've shown in the regular season that they're the better team, if not the best team in the league, as they beat the 49ers. So I think the ball is in their court. Like if they can take care of the football, execute as they have been doing throughout the season, they will win this game because I think they're better than the Bills are. I'm just like I need to see it. That's all. Like I'm picking them to win, but I need to see them execute in this game for sure.
Got it. So yeah, we'll pick the Ravens in that. But as you say that, and once I fully hear that, do you also see that could be the Bills' game to lose, as they have lost games in this situation before as well?
I don't really, with the Ravens being the 1 seed, Lamar being on track to be the 2-time MVP now, them being viewed as the best team in the league, them having had a small like championship window as well too that's kind of been hurt by injuries or underwhelming playoff performances. I get what you're saying in terms of the Bills because they've also kind of been knocking on the door and faltering when they get there, but for the Ravens it feels like this is like their year. And so it feels like the pressure would be a little bit more on them as the 1 seed in this AFC.
I'm not talking pressure. I'm just saying in regards to the Bills and the mistakes and just who that team is and how they're constructed. You don't see what their issues could be that could hinder them in the game.
Oh, I agreed with what you said. I just wasn't gonna double down on what you said. Like I agreed with what their issues could be.
I missed that part where you agree. That's all. All right. Yeah. So yeah, cool. So Ravens it is in that one, and then put to the NFC side. Folks are starting to pick more of the Packers to upset this game. I've seen that in recent days. I think I found this because Theo Ash had posted it online from Stay Out Pod and all that kind of stuff, and he picked the Packers in this game to win.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
The Packers have got rolling in recent weeks. They got their offense a little more consistent. The defense is clicking a little bit. So they think that it could be upset with the Cowboys often, as you've seen, have their missteps in the playoffs. So, yeah, we both picked the Cowboys, though. You're not shifting on that?
No, I mean, like, I don't believe in the Packers' defense enough to stop the high-powered passing game of the Cowboys. Like, I know they got Jair Alexander back there and others, but I think the Dak, CD, Ferguson, Cooks, I guess they're gonna need to get the running game going a little bit. So a question mark there with Pollard and Rico Dowdle, but the Cowboys at home are averaging near 40 points on the year, and like as I said, this is the playoffs, so it's different than the regular season, but they've been dominant at home, and I think they can continue to be so against this Packers team who they ended the season decently well, but they were kind of up and down throughout.
Got it. Yeah, I still agree with that. Just to the point about folks picking the Packers to upset it. That we was going to pay attention to, and it should be a lot of fun if it did happen. That's all I'll say.
It would be. It would be. I wouldn't be mad at it. It'd be funny.
So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, and we'll talk about more on official shows and all that. So there's that. Again, Lions and Rams, we will have the same point about the Rams being the veteran experience. While we said that pretty confidently, we have to acknowledge that I won't say there's veteran experience on the Lions, but they have a lot of talent that could be enough to withstand whatever veteran experience the Rams are able to, whatever poise that the Rams have in this game. Any thoughts on potentially the Lions actually getting the job done as the higher seed and all of that as well?
Yeah, as the higher seed, and maybe more talent on paper across the board. I would say it's the Lions' game to lose here. I think it is a bit of an upset if the Rams are able to win on the road in this game. But I do think just that the experience will shine through a little bit more for the Rams there. It's a big game for Goff. We talked about it on the Stafford end, but it is a big game for Goff and proving himself and as the QB, as he was the guy that was traded away to Detroit, and having that home game first round, first time being in the playoffs in a minute. I think it's big for them. So I think the pressure is on them, and they are capable of winning this game. But I'm still leaning with the Rams here in what we've discussed previously.
We're the same thought. I won't go too long with that. So put those in there. Bucks and Eagles. Did we both pick the Bucks in this game?
Yeah, I think we both picked the Bucks.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are completely falling apart. All seems Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown the ball. AJ Brown, since the last game, AJ Brown was missed the last practice. They had a talk with I think it was Shaq Leonard before a couple of days ago, and he was having all kinds of doubts about certain things going on.
Hurts messed up his middle finger or whatever in the last game.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown the ball since the last game. Darius Slay is back, which is nice, but when everything else is falling apart around you, that can only do so much. So, it seems like it's about to be a disaster class on Monday. I guess as I do, is there any chance that we're wrong and the Eagles will win?
Yeah, I was going to say it's still a very winnable game for the Eagles, even with all those things that you just mentioned, because both these teams, their secondaries aren't very strong, and I think the passing game for the Eagles still can get off against the Buccaneers. So it's still a winnable game. Like, even though the Eagles have been losing a lot of these games, beyond the Giants one where they kind of got dominated, surprisingly, they have been close games still. Like, there have been games that they've been in. So I think it's still a winnable game because the Buccaneers aren't this juggernaut. It feels like a favorable matchup because of how weak the Eagles secondary is. But it's still winnable for them, I think. Yeah.
A scenario, and I'm thinking out loud, but who's the Eagles' backup QB? Do you remember?
I don't know because it was Minshew.
They had somebody else that stepped in, I thought, for a game at some point and played well. Maybe not. Maybe that was last year with Minshew. Maybe I'm blanking. But just the thought of if Hurts can't even throw a ball right now because he said he can't. He hasn't thrown the ball since the last game.
It's Mariota.
Mariota. Oh, and he played bad, I think, in the game.
Yeah, he hasn't been great, I don't think, in his limited appearances.
But just the idea of would you maybe start Mariota and let him play for a half? If he does well, sit Jalen Hurts for the game to save his finger, or maybe start Hurts and then sit him down? Like, would you manage that some kind of way, or would you just throw Hurts out there and it's a playoff game and he wants to be a hero guy? Let him play and we'll figure it out. How would you manage that?
Option C, like run the Wildcat, maybe. I don't know, but I think probably I'd still want to pass because that's where the Buccaneers are most vulnerable. I'd still want to pass on them. So, I mean, if Hurts' throwing ability is affected by his injury, maybe you go by Mariota, but I feel like you still trust a more banged up Hurts than you do Mariota at this point. So I'd probably still run Hurts.
Plays, and if he stays healthy, of course, you just think the plays.
Yeah.
But he got hurt. If he goes out there and bumps somebody's helmet again, and I think it breaks, now he's done for a run potentially afterwards. So in my head, I'm like, low key with the Bucks, though we're falling apart. Let's go ahead and throw our backup out there, let him play for at least a half, see how that goes. If he can manage to keep us ahead in this game, great, and we'll just let Hurts sit and save his finger. But if we need him, we'll bring him out, and then go from there. Because if you're thinking long term, and you want to make sure you have a run after the fact, being able to survive this game, I would survive this game and then bring Hurts back more healthy for the next rounds. Because now if you're going up against the Cowboys in the next round, banged up finger, that's pretty much guaranteed out at this point.
I mean, if they're truly trying to win this game, I feel like you can't get too cute. I feel like that might be getting a little too cute if you go with the backup there. If Hurts can play through it,
Hurts truly hurt like he is, though.
Yeah, because guys are playing through injury at this stage of the season as well, too. Like Even if he's banged up the next round, he's still going to play.
Guys playing through injuries is one thing, but when your quarterback can't throw the ball, that's a whole other.
If he truly cannot throw the ball at all, like that's different. Then maybe you do go.
We saw that Joe Burrow hurt his finger and couldn't throw the ball anymore, and that's part of why he sat.
He jacked up his wrist too. It looked like
wrist or whatever. Yeah. But once guys can't throw the ball, they can't.
Right. That's like, so if he can't throw the ball at all, I get you. But if he can still throw it, like you gotta roll with Hurts if you're trying to win games.
Got it. Yeah. I guess this goes to our point about having more confident, being more confident in your backups and having more depth. When you have Mariota back there, it's like, dang, we would love to sit Hurts' game, but Mariota, you suck. So you can't do it. So, yeah, gotta get
Mariota's shot right there.
Yeah. So we'll put Bucks again for this one. I think we both just said Niners, Rams. Any thoughts? Any added thoughts on this? And we both said Niners in this one. Any chance that we can pull off the upset?
I'd still go Niners. I think there is a chance, just with it being a divisional game and a rivalry game, and Sean McVay being the quality coach he is, and us having the veterans who have been there before. But 49ers are just so deep and loaded. When they're healthy, it's hard for me to see any team in the NFC beating them, just because they have so many weapons, and they have Brock Purdy who's able to get the ball to them, and they have Shanahan who's able to scheme it up well. So, I think the 49ers would just be a little bit too much for the Rams, who could make it interesting, but I think the 49ers would take that matchup.
Yeah, I can't see them losing the first game with how they've been rolling all season long. It would be that would be the biggest upset.
That would be probably,
I've ever seen, honestly. Especially with the Rams being the 6th seed and being the Lions to begin with, and then getting to this game. That'd be unreal. So we're rooting for it, of course.
Yeah.
But picking the right team, it seems like the Niners are the right team. So it is what it is. Going from there, Cowboys and Bucks. I'm not going to waste time on this one, to be honest with you. Cowboys, Niners, now is the game we all want to see.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Again, I pointed out before in our conversations, I think the game is in Dak's hands. Though we do respect the Niners, beyond narratives and all of that, if Dak is up to par, whatever, I think they truly have a chance to beat this Niners squad. But if not, and he has his turnover issues like we saw before in the playoffs versus Niners and all of that, then they fall short. So and I think we already gave our real picks, but any new comments on what this game could be?
Yeah, I would definitely have the Niners in this matchup. The Cowboys on the road, conversely to the 40 points a game at home, have been like closer to 20 points a game on the road. So there's a clear dip for them when they're playing away games, and going into the best team in the NFC's house is going to be tough there. And that's a team that dog walked them the last time they played. So obviously there's going to be some bad blood there, but and some they're going to really be hungry for this win, but I don't think that's enough to get past what the Niners have. They kind of thoroughly dominated them, and I think it can happen again. Hopefully it would be a closer matchup. Hopefully the Cowboys don't choke before that we get this, because I really want to see this game again.
We'll love to, of course.
But yeah, similar to the Rams, I don't think they have quite enough to beat the Niners in this matchup. Even if Dak has a sensational performance, I still favor the Niners.
As I said before, I think both pointed out at somewhere during each season the flaws show, and I think with the Cowboys, the flaw right now, if there is a flaw, is kind of the run game not being as dominant as it once was. As you pointed out, with Pollard falling short the line and Dallas not being as sure as Zeke once was, and all kinds of stuff. And I think the Niners took advantage of that run game. And while making Dak pass, Dak with the ball in his hands is a great passer right now, and the connection with CD is great. When it becomes just that, though, you can key on that. I think it makes it hard to be successful enough to get the win in this situation. So, I think it ends up being the Niners getting the job done, though the Cowboys put up a valiant fight. Going Niners in that one. Then from there, the Super Bowl, we kind of picked the
game.
Ravens and Niners. I know who I'm going with, and not only because of the bias of being a Ravens fan, but looking at the paths to get there in this scenario. I think they get tested enough to, learn what they need to learn and make the adjustments that need to be adjusted on both sides of the ball to get the offense rolling as it needs to at this point, to be more sure in it. And also, I guess, knowing that they played each other before and that knowing as much of a juggernaut the Niners are, we call the Niners juggernaut all season long. The Ravens can go up against them and not fear them and not feel like they will fall short or be intimidated by them in this situation. So, yeah, definitely picking the Ravens in that. And seeing Lamar get his first Super Bowl is going to be a spectacular moment in my eyes.
already thinking about it.
Not too, but we're here right now, the big game. For this one moment, trying to look forward. Yeah, it definitely would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome if Lamar is able to lead them to a Super Bowl this year. It would be a very respectable one too if they were to beat the Niners in this matchup, because I think even with how they beat them in the regular season, this is still the two best teams, and it's a really formidable 49ers team. So if they're able to get through, as you said, a lot of tests in the AFC and then get past the Niners too, I think you can't discredit that championship run should they make it. So yeah, I think I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't think it's going to be how it was on Christmas Day. I think the Niners make some adjustments, but I think the Ravens having a really stellar defense, having Lamar, getting Andrews back, adding another dynamic to that offense. I just think it is their year of destiny kind of thing. If they're able to get to this point, I think they can win it all. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens here.
People said it was the year of destiny for the Niners all year long. People said they finally go over the hump and that they finally have the team together to get the Super Bowl run. What is the flaw here for the Niners that makes them fall short yet again?
Honestly, like, feels too easy to say, but like the quarterback battle is clearly won by Lamar, like between Lamar and Purdy. The weapons, like the Niners have better offensive weapons. So if Purdy can play a flawless game, not in terms of throwing 400 yards, but taking care of the football, not turning it over, the Niners can win this game. I think because I think they can keep it close. And so if he can play a flawless game where he doesn't turn the ball over and gets his playmakers the ball, like McCaffrey was still able to run for 100+ yards in that game that they lost to.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be able to be productive regardless, because teams have been able to run on the Ravens. It's just that the game script hasn't gone that way where teams need to pass to get back into the game.
Right.
But if Purdy is able to play a flawless game, kind of like you're saying for Dak and the Cowboys, then I think that's where they can win. But I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, because up and down the roster, I think they kind of have an edge there where Shanahan, I give up maybe slight edge to Harbaugh, as great as the coach as Harbaugh is. The offensive weapons in terms of the pass catchers, I give the edge to the Niners, as good as Andrews can be and Flowers can be. The running game, of course, you give it to CMC. The defense, I ultimately would give the edge to the Ravens a little bit. But I think, yeah, it comes down to that quarterback play, because we saw an awful game from Purdy in the first matchup. If he plays a stellar game, that's how they can get the job done, I think.
Trying to flip sides, because obviously I've been picking the Ravens and all of that, but looking for the Niners, yeah, I think that has to be it. I guess controlling the pace. I think if it's a shootout, that actually could lead more so to the Ravens' advantage.
Why is that?
Because it has appeared that the Ravens have the stamina on both sides of the ball to maintain control somewhat, even in situations like that. Like, there are some times where games are shootouts, but you still have control of the moment a little bit. Like, there are plays that are made, obviously, that allowing teams to score and get past all of that. But you can bite down at a certain point to end games or whatever. Not exactly the Rams game, we could point to that game, but there are situations where we see that a team can maintain somewhat control of a game, even as the scores are going up on both sides. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Ravens have stamina on both sides to maintain that. I think they also have ability, as you talked about, the separation between Lamar and Purdy, that if they have to slow the game down at some point, I think Lamar, with his control of the run game, both as the runner himself and the running backs we have, whether it be Dalvin Cook or whoever we throw back there, I think they have a better understanding of pace on that side of the ball. But to the Niners, their ways to win are, as you said, is just the top thing is just turnovers and turnovers and preventing those. And then on the defensive side, I really think it's about them. I almost want to say
like keeping contained on Lamar kind of thing.
The interesting thing is, I think it's the flip of that. I think you almost let Lamar run wild and you stop everything else. When you key on Lamar, because Lamar at this point does not want to be the do everything guy. He wants to stay in the pocket, scramble around. Even when he does scramble now, he's scrambling behind the line, trying to find guys deep and all of that.
Correct.
And he wins as the last result.
Correct.
So you shut down his options and make him just the runner. Yeah, if you want to let him run for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and those are the 2 touchdowns, great. But when he's throwing for another 3 touchdowns on top of that too, because you guys keep letting guys behind you, whatever the case is. We saw times in the last game, for example, there was that one great pass that they show where they faked the toss to I think that was Keaton Mitchell before he got hurt, and then turned up and threw it to Zay Flowers because all the linebackers had all their eyes on the backfield. If you focus more on the options around us, we know how to key on that. We know guys have their eyes on Lamar, so if you guys can make sure you keep the other options contained, I think that can stop us a little bit. So just understand where your eyes need to be will be a big thing for the Niners, and I'm excited. I hope we get to see this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the way that it plays out. So who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll talk more about it for sure. Should these teams get there, it's not a foregone conclusion, of course, but we'll see. Yeah,
this is Chill Pod and all that. It's supposed to be Chill Pod, but we hit the Ravens. That's that. I think it'll put a whole bracket together for us, and that was like a fun one. It almost seems too. I don't want to say perfect, but it seems too.
No, there's a couple upsets like in that first round that we have.
There's upsets, but it's upsets that everyone's kind of predicting. So it's like it almost seems too clean. And we've seen even in the past few years.
Hey, sometimes it happens.
There's always a wrinkle somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't quite see where the wrinkle is at this point. I hate to say it, but knock on wood, there's always injuries and things that happen.
Sure.
We'll see how that plays its part. But things stay clean. We'll love to see things play out in this way. So we'll be back officially for real pods and all of that to talk about it as things go along. But this definitely was a good time. We talking about football right now. The last thing we will talk about as we go on the way out of here. Any thoughts just on all the coaches that just got let go or just retired in the last couple of days? We saw three legends go down. We saw Carroll leave from Seattle, Saban retired, and then Beliichick is out from New England. Any thoughts on them before we go?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild that they all kind of went in succession, like on the same day for a couple of them, and like very, very like connected guys in terms of Belichick and Saban. Like they actually coached together, and
correct.
They have that connectivity there. But yeah, I mean, all legends in their own right. Of course, like Pete Carroll had the USC days, which probably made him more of a legend, honestly. But then had the Super Bowl too with Russ, and it had the NFL success with the Seahawks, and the surprising year last year with Geno after the Russ trade. So I think he's still staying on in an advisory role. I don't know how long like that lasts, so he's not fully out the building, but he's done as the head coach there. Saban, interested to see who the successor is. I think a name was brought up today.
It's a dude from Washington that was just over there.
Is it confirmed? Like he's okay. So interesting to see how that goes. I know Alabama cares a lot about their football out there. So
they do. My thought as well was, dude, imagine if they had Penix over there in Alabama instead of Milroe, but just Penix on that Alabama squad would have been crazy. They clearly wanted to I guess, opened that passing up a little bit more. But it favored Milroe. They respected his talent and used him as he did. But that usually is not their style. They usually pass a whole lot more. We've seen how they've done in the past with the Jalen Hurtses and the Tuas and all of that. Penix would have felt right in line with those type of guys as what Saban likes to coach. So yeah, it would have been nice to see how that played out. Though Milroe was damn near a Heisman candidate himself in the offense as it was. But yeah, we'll see who the new Washington coach. I keep on blanking on his name. I think it's like DeBoer or something like that. But my apologies. But it's going to be great to see how he rebuilds this Alabama squad.
Yeah. And then Belichick, arguably the GOAT NFL coach there with his 6 titles, as Saban is arguably the GOAT in NCAA coaching with his 6 titles as well, I believe, at Alabama.
Is it interesting
between Alabama and LSU? Yeah, go for it.
Is it interesting to you that Carroll doesn't get more of that conversation? Like, he was heralded as a coach for a little while. He won those championships at USC and was praised highly. Came to the NFL and had the Legion of Boom and had another dynasty almost over there. But we don't view him at the same level as these two. Obviously, he didn't win 6+ like they did, but to win highly on both levels deserves high praise as well. But it seems like it's like Carroll and these two over here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not close to these two in terms of what they've accomplished. But in terms of, like, if he had stayed at USC and they didn't have the scandal and everything, and like he had like more of a dynasty there in terms of like winning more titles like Saban did, I think he'd be viewed kind of how Saban is if USC like put together that continuous run. And they might have very well been capable of that because they were humming like while he was there, and they've kind of been trying to figure it out since he left. But I think like in the NFL, he was like the reason why he's not viewed that way. Like, they let a Super Bowl championship get away from them by not running the ball, which would have been a second title for him. And then just probably a little bit too much favoritism towards Russ, honestly. I think that kind of fractured some of the locker room in terms of what we've heard from players there and how they feel about Russ and that kind of thing.
He get asked that question the rest of his life. Why did you run past the ball?
That's one of those decisions that like the entire world is like, bruh, what were you thinking? So yeah, that's a blemish on his record in terms of being viewed as a GOAT potentially, but he's still a great coach in his own right. But yeah, that's I guess you could say a sad day in terms of if you're a football fan seeing these guys go. It's a changing of the guard.
I wouldn't necessarily say sad. Like, we definitely will miss them, of course, their presence, but they'll still be around to capacity somewhere. Right. But, I was just going to say that they will. It's going to be nice to see a change of the guard and see who next, and the guys are going to rise up afterwards. Of course, you're going to have the head honchos, of course, but seeing who else is. Of course, Matt said it was a good decision. Go to hell, man. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to see who elevates in. I don't know if anyone ever is gonna get to their level, but who's just gonna be the next top dogs across college football and the pros. So
yeah, man, he gifted the other guy in this picture at another Super Bowl. He gifted Belichick one of those.
Added to the R right there. So it really is. So yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. But great stuff there. Anything else you want to? Any poll? Anything else you want to pull up real quick before we get out of here?
Nah, I don't think so. We've been going close to an hour 40 now.
A while now, but good, Twitch is different. People will be on Twitch for 5 hours of the day. So
yeah, we're not. I'm not Kai Sanat. I'm not going all night with this.
A good hour and a half is definitely appreciated. I can't confirm it, but we'll try. We'll definitely gonna have our 2 real episodes each week. And we'll try for a 3rd chill episode. We'll post when those are happening. You guys tap in. We might switch things around. Just seeing how StreamYard works, which is our main source for you guys that you're viewing. We see that it allows the chat to pop up. We weren't able to see the chat live on IG Live as it was popping up. So we may have to switch over and go to Facebook because it'll allow the Facebook chat to pop up on here as well. So Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch will be active on all of those going forward. Chat on those. We'll see you in here. It'll be a lot of fun time. We'll have more polls that we'll participate in. We'll find other trivia stuff we can do for you guys. Try to be a bit more interactive. A few of you guys are people that we know, so we might get Matt to be on the show one week. We might get Nacho, whoever, to pop in and to say a word. So we're trying to build this thing up, but a lot of this is on the way. Again, we appreciate y'all. Keep tuning in to LA Sports Report and following up us on there. We'll definitely want to keep building that up. And another good stream of the books, man. We'll keep calling it at that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I will say too, as we close, just this is all the sports streams and stuff. I might get my own streams going for those that game a little bit. I mean, on my old school games, I've been playing NCAA 06 and all kinds of retro games and all of that. I might stream those for you guys and have some fun chats on off days. So stay tuned on all of that. We'll have links posted on our Twitter and all that stuff for you guys when time being. And that now is it. So see y'all, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Deuces.
Deuces.